stampers, the inlaid cards have been really popular with all the different dies that are out there. And I put this card on my blog the other day, and I got quite a few questions on how I did it, so I thought I'd give you a quick tutorial on how to get a glittered inlay on your cards. First, I started with my base, and this is from the Spellbinders Majestic Elements, and I used the middle square and cut that out. Then I'm using the Poppies and Asters die from Spellbinders as well, and I'm going to cut it on the cardstock, but as you see, it's too long to fit on my cardstock, so I need to discontinue cutting because I don't want it to cut through my frame there. So I'm going to show you how I did that. You're going to position your die on your cardstock where you want it, and then on your Cuttlebug or your cutting machine, whatever it is you're using, what you're going to do is lay the die on the platform, extending out to where you want the die to cut. So here's the edge of my block or my plate, and it's coming over here across here, and that's where I want it to cut. I don't want it to cut this part of the flower, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, and then place my top cutting plate on top of it, and then I'm going to run it through my Cuttlebug. Okay. Now when I peel it up, my flowers are still going to be attached in there because it's not cut down at the bottom, but I've got my flowers all cut up at the top. So now you just need to take your cutting mat and a craft knife and just cut. You don't want to cut all the way across because this is 2 flowers. Cut those 2 stems at the bottom, and then you can go ahead and lift your flowers out. Okay, so now I have my base for my inlay. Now what I need to do is cut another inlay to put inside. So this time I'm going to take a piece of cardstock and the 2.5 terrific tape and lay that down and trim it. And then I'm going to go ahead and run the die through the machine on the tape. And if you've got a cardstock with the tape on it, it becomes a little bit thicker to cut, so you're going to need to make sure you have a lot of pressure on the die. So I have a metal embossing plate down underneath my plates to help add some stiff pressure to it. I'm also going to use the side of my machine to cut with because the machines tend to have more pressure on the side than they do in the middle. So go ahead and place your die on there and then run it through. And I usually run it through, and it's really tight, so it's a little harder to crank. But go ahead and go through and then bring it back. Okay. So now I've got my die, and I can peel that out carefully from my tape. And then peel that out as well. Okay, so now I have a beautiful die cut that's out of the tape as well. Now I still have the release paper on here so it's not sticky. Now what I'm going to do is going to peel off the release paper that's on top. So now I have exposed tape, and now I'm going to cover it with Teal Velveteen microfine glitter. And make sure you cover it. Burnish it into the glitter because you want to make sure it holds lots of sparkle. Burnish that glitter into the tape. And then go ahead and tap off your excess. And look at that beautiful inlay that you have. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you have your white piece that your inlay is going in, and you need your card base as well, or your other layer that you're going to layer it on. And I just chose the larger square from the Majestic elements. And you're going to adhere the white panel down to your cardstock. Now I like to use a wet glue for this because you want to make sure you get into all of these crevices so that all of these pieces stick down. So I'm using our dimensional glue. It's just a good glue, easy to use. And you can just use a little bit of it in these tight areas. And I'm not going to glob it on, I'm just putting it on very lightly. Okay, and I'm going to flip that over and put that down. And press it well. You can even turn it over and rub it at this point to make sure you get all the glue stuck down in all the little pieces. Okay, now your inlay, your glittered inlay piece just fits right down in there. Now it extends down a little bit longer, so we need to take our scissors again, and you're just going to trim there, so that it fits right down in there. And then you're going to put more dimensional glue on the back of these pieces. And then stick these in there. Okay, and I'm going to peel this one up. You can use the glitter brush and brush off your excess. That will help the glue stick better. Brush off the glitter from here. Okay, and then stick this in the, it's like putting a puzzle piece together, or a puzzle together. Just laying the pieces in. And then you have a beautiful glitter inlay on your card. And then you can go ahead, I stamped my sentiment down here and finished my card. Here is the finished one in purple. And this one was done with, what is that, Pixie Violet? Pixie Violet, yeah. And the Concord Star embossing powder. And then on the inside, I just made the card from the same square and cut that out with the Spellbinders as well, and then stamp your sentiment on the inside. So that's how you do the inlay hope you enjoyed that and you get to try it again. Have fun with some glitter today. Happy stamping!